Hi guys, I'm Jonny from BlueSky PR and I'm going to be giving you my top tips for dealing with the media around the globe. The first one is relevance. No matter where you're pitching to, whether it's Berlin or Bangalore, you've got to make sure that your content is relevant to them and their readership. Journalists don't care about stuff that's not relevant to their country or their specific region. So if you're pitching to someone in New York about something in Los Angeles, they're not going to bother picking it up. Unless it's major news, they're really not interested. This leads me on to my next tip. You need to acknowledge the fact that there is diversity in large countries. Take India. It's a huge country with well over 1 billion people. So just because you're pitching to someone in Mumbai about something in Bangalore and they are Indian doesn't mean they're going to be interested in it. So make sure whatever you're talking about is relevant to the specific region and the specific publication's focus. If you're talking to someone who works on BizEd, there's no point talking about recruitment because they're probably not going to be focused on that either. Now, my next tip is about liaising with the media in large countries more generally. If you have a member of your faculty that is planning on going out to the US and they're going to New York, there is no point trying to set up an interview or a face-to-face with a journalist in Los Angeles because that's thousands of miles away and it's just not going to work. You need to be aware of the sheer scale of what you're trying to negotiate. So if you're dealing with countries that are large in size and populous, you need to really think about the logistics before setting anything up. Following on from that, you need to think about time zones. Now this is a really broad bit of advice, and it's a really simple bit of advice, but people forget it all the time. You need to think about your time and their time. So if you're pitching to someone at 9 AM UK time and they're in Los Angeles, they're not going to be awake yet because it will be like 2 in the morning their time. Now, we live in the age of information where your pitch is one of hundreds, if not thousands, every day. So the earlier it goes into their inbox, the further down the list it goes, the less likely they're going to actually read it. So you need to bear that in mind when you're pitching to foreign media. My last bit of advice is a really easy one. Don't use jargon. When you're working with professors or faculty or anyone who's really an expert in their field, it's very easy to use the jargon that they use. But you have to remember, while the journalist may know exactly what you mean, their readership won't, and they are not interested in using technical terms. They want to write nice and clearly in an inclusive way for their audience. So just avoid jargon altogether. It makes the job so much easier. Those are my top 5 tips on dealing with the media around the globe. If you want to learn more, contact BlueSky PR today.